Good evening to everybody, the small crowd we have gathered here at the Colombo Hilton Residencies, and also welcome to all of our guests who are joining us through the power of technology. So thanks to Zoom, we have something like 60 groups of people joining us outside, which is rather nice. And welcome to the CBB virtual Christmas carols. Just to run through the agenda, we're going to, as usual, have our chairperson, Roshani, come up and welcome everyone. So we'll do that in a moment, formally. And then we're going to go through a sequence of Christmas carols, Christmas readings, and towards the latter part of it, we have a draw, a raffle draw. So everybody who's registered gets a chance to win something. And then finally, for the youngsters who have anxiously been awaiting the arrival of Santa at this time of the year, you get a chance to meet with Santa virtually, have a conversation one-on-one or as a group. So that's the plan for the evening. And without any further ado, I'm going to invite the chairperson of the Council for Business with Britain, Roshani Jayasundara Moraes, to come up here and welcome everybody. Roshani.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Your Excellency, thank you for gracing the occasion. And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Monisha, the new MD of Tobacco, who's just here for the last 2 weeks only, I think. Thank you for joining us, and everybody else. British School joining us yet again with their excellent choir. And some of you joining personally. Thank you very much, John and Simon and Shamista and everybody else. So I don't want to stand between the excellent event we have and you. Let's enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roshani. So I'm going to invite Shamista and the team to come. Well, we're going to the first carol we're going to do is going to be a virtual one that's going to come through the technology. So we've once again, unfortunately, obviously with the social distancing rules in place, we're unable to have the choir here in person. So we will be playing a couple of their tracks that you may have seen before, and then we've got a couple of brand new ones done very, very specially for today. So with that, we will take you through the power of technology to watch the first carol, which is This Christmas from the British School Virtual Band.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. Whoa, and we caroling through the night. Oh. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Whoa. Hang on the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. Oh, and we carol
cheering you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. And we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Shake your hand. Fireside is blazing bright. And this Christmas will be
A very special Christmas for me.
And this Christmas will be
A very special Christmas for me. Shake your head now.
shake a hand now.
Just tell you to
Wish you both a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh.
Okay. So, big thank you again to the British School once again for supporting us. And I hope that everybody at home is also enjoying the goodie bags that were sent around, something perhaps a little bit unique and novel to this event that we started last year. And thanks to all our sponsors who've supported us in putting those together. And of course, a couple of committee members who have done their extra bit as always to make sure they went out on time. So we're going to move into the first reading, and as always, a little bit more traditional. And I'm going to invite Her Excellency, the British High Commissioner, Sarah Hulton, up to the podium. The stage is yours.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you all here tonight. The first reading is from the book of Luke 2, verses 4 to 20. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today, in the town of David, a Saviour has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger." Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favour rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby, who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and a little message to remind us what Christmas is all about, and that there is sometimes we need to sit back and think and reflect, and so thank you for that, for reminding us of that, Your Excellency. So we will move into the second carol, and we have another one from the British School virtually, Silent Night, and enjoy again. And the next one will be an audience participation one. So this means that all of you at home have got to get your vocal cords tuned up. So if you want to sing along with the British School, please go ahead, because the next one, it will be yours. Enjoy the British School.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Oh, silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly sleep. Oh,
Okay, so second carol there from the British School's virtual choir, and again we want to thank them for the effort they put into getting these together. The last two you saw actually were done for last year, so if you did recognize them or you thought you'd heard it or seen it somewhere else, it's not that you were losing it. They were there. They were with us here last time as well. But we do have two fresh ones for you which are coming up soon. So looking forward to that. Now, I was just checking how many cameras we have on the videos on the Zoom, and I'm told it's almost zero. So we're going. Your next one is for you guys sitting at home to have a little fun and join in with the festivities. So we're going to let you go this one, but next one we have for you, which is in a couple of carols down. We're going to ask you to put your cameras on so we get to see you guys as well. Okay? So this one is for you at home, the virtual audience karaoke, and it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So it's a nice light carol, particularly for the youngsters. So we're going to have karaoke on the screen. You'll have the music. Unfortunately, the technology hasn't quite got us to the point where we can get rid of the lag so we get to hear you live. Hopefully by next year we won't need karaoke. But if we do, maybe we'll have it so that we can hear you as well. So please do enjoy yourselves to the next carol, which is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Well, the team here did a half decent job. So we give them a half round of applause from the other side. And for those of you at home, you do get to see the people here singing too, because we have one coming up just a couple of carols down where the audience here will be singing for you. So for those of you here, take that as a warning. Okay, we move now into the second reading, and I'm going to invite our chairperson, Roshani, up to the podium to deliver the second reading. Roshani.
Okay, the second reading, The Little Drummer Boy. One day, David's father said to his family, "We're going to be very busy. Caesar Augustus has ordered a count of all the families in all the towns. Pam pam, param pam pam. I counted 6 of us," David sang. Why does this make us busy? "Because people will come to Bethlehem to be counted with their families," said David's father. "They will need a place to stay. They will stay with us and we will be very busy." David's mother cooked more food. David's sisters cleaned the rooms. David's brothers swept out the stable and put new hay and pots of water in the stalls. David's father greeted the people as they came into town. Soon the inn was very full. David played his drum and sang his songs for the people. Late one night, there was a knock at the door. David peeked around his father at the young man and his wife, who was on a donkey. They had no room for these people. What could they do? David's father was a kind man. "You can stay in the stable," he said. "It is warm and dry there. I can send food out to you." The young man thanked David's father and walked the donkey to the stable. David helped his mother carry bread and cheese out to the young couple. His mother told him the woman was going to have a baby soon. The next day, there was a lot of excitement. The young woman who stayed at the stable last night had her baby, David's mother told him. "The baby is the King of Kings, they say," said David's father. David could not see the baby because of the crowd around the stable. David stood at the back of the crowd and began to make up a song for the baby. "Come," they told me, "our newborn king to see. Our finest gifts we bring to lay before the king, so to honor him when we come." The crowd began to part when they heard David's beautiful singing. "Baby Jesus, I am a poor boy too. I have no gift to bring that's fit to give a king. Shall I play for you on my drum?" David stepped closer to Mary, Joseph, and their son. Baby Jesus smiled at David, reached out, and patted his drum. Love's spirit and the beat of his drum brought one little boy closer to infant Jesus. Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Thank you, Roshani. So we're going to move into the fourth carol for the evening, and this one is brand new. So when we spoke with Dr. Scarth and Shamista at the British School a couple of months ago to try and plan this event, we weren't really quite sure whether we'd be able to have it at all, whether it would be virtual, or indeed whether we may have had a chance of doing it in person. So as with a lot of things these days, the planning has to be just that little bit more detailed and meticulous. So we decided that we'll cover all bases, and Shamista kindly offered to speak with the choir and put together a couple more virtual carols, which takes a huge amount of effort. I can't tell you how much. So a big thank you to everybody from the British School, the choir in particular, to all the kids who've given their time to put together something special for us. So with that, brand new for you, from the British School's virtual band, have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Have Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Whoa.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Whoa, faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fate allows.
And the shining star up on the highest bough. And have yourself a merry little Christmas right now. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Through the years, we all will be together. If the fate allows, hang the shining star upon the highest bough. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. Now,
Wow, that was special. So thanks again to the British School Band and Omeo and Sanuri, who were the vocalists who did an awesome job. So thank you very much for that. So we now move on to the audience participation at this end. So I know you guys have been queuing up and waiting for this. We're going to get a little bit of help here. Sort of push start type thing. So, okay, so this is, we're going to be doing Let It Snow. Do we have the words, or are we going to wing it? Okay. Okay, apparently Shamit has sent it on your phones. Whoever's number she had. Okay, so if anyone wondered whether we rehearsed this, you now know that absolutely we did not. Okay, so it's going to be Let It Snow, and it's going to be the audience here of our committee, some of the folks from the British School, and a few other guests, and of course the team from the Shamista and her Sham and their team to help us along. Okay, so let's have a go. Let It Snow.
so delightful. And since we no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, but I bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in this storm. But when you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Yeah.
Okay. Next time we will practice beforehand. It was planned, it didn't quite happen. Such is life. Okay. So back to the serious stuff. We do have continued messages through readings to just remind us about this time of the year. And as we move on, they become a little more lighthearted so that everybody can understand what those messages are. So to take us through the third reading from the British School, we'd like to invite Mr. Simon Harwood to the podium. Simon.
Very good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to share with you this evening the legend of the Poinsettia. Maria and Pablo lived in a tiny village in Mexico. Because Christmas time at their house did not include many gifts, Maria and Pablo looked forward to the Christmas festivities in the village church with great joy and anticipation. To honor the birth of Christ, the church displayed a beautiful manger that drew crowds of admirers. Villagers walked miles to admire the manger, bringing lovely, expensive gifts for the baby Jesus. As Maria and Pablo watched the villagers place their gifts in the soft hay around the manger, they felt sad. They had no money to buy gifts for their family and no money to buy a gift for the baby Jesus. One Christmas Eve, Maria and Pablo walked to the church for that evening's services, wishing desperately they had a gift to bring. Just then, a soft, glowing light shone through the darkness, and the shadowy outline of an angel appeared above them. Maria and Pablo were afraid, but the angel comforted them, instructing them to pick some of the short green weeds that were growing by the road. They should bring the plants to the church, the angel explained, and place them near the manger as their gift to the baby Jesus. Then, just as quickly as she had appeared, the angel was gone, leaving Maria and Pablo on the road, looking up into the dark sky. Confused but excited, the children filled their arms with large bunches of the green weeds and hurried to the church. When the children entered the church, many villagers turned to stare. As Maria and Pablo began placing the weeds around the manger, some of the villagers laughed at them. "Why are those children putting weeds in the manger?" they asked of each other. Maria and Pablo began to feel embarrassed and ashamed of the gift to the baby Jesus, but they stood bravely near the manger, placing the plants on the soft hay as the angel had instructed. Suddenly, the dull green leaves on the tops of the plants began to turn a beautiful shade of red, surrounding the baby with beautiful blooms. the laughing villagers became silent as they watched the green plants transform into the lovely star-shaped crimson flowers we call poinsettias. As they watched the weeds bloom before their eyes, Maria and Pablo knew they had no reason to be ashamed anymore. They had given the baby Jesus the only gift they could, and it was the most beautiful gift of all. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Simon. Delivered with real meaning, and thank you for that. And also thank you for being there for us over the years, because you've always been highly supportive of this event, so thank you. Okay, so we're now going back to you guys at the other side of technology for another virtual carol, and this time it's Winter Wonderland. And I am going to ask the team here if we do have cameras on. If you have cameras, put your cameras on. We'd love to see you. Love to see the kids. Yeah? So if you do, please put them on. There is one more chance for you to do that later on if you haven't done and you need to pretty yourself up or something. That's also okay. But if you have your cameras on, we'd love to see you. So we'll move on to the sixth carol, Winter Wonderland. Okay. I hope you guys at home were exercising your vocal cords. The team here were trying. Yeah. Again, unfortunately, we came across a technology glitch. I was told if you put the cameras on here, you don't get the words, right? So we couldn't see you, but we did have a few cameras on, and we are going to flick them on from time to time when you don't need the words. So please put your cameras on. Okay, now we're always very privileged at this event to have the talents of some couple of lovely soloists. So today, normally when we've had this in the past at the High Commissioner's residence, we've had the whole choir there, and that's been a lot of fun and amazing entertainment because the choir is really quite special. I think the technology has done some justice to that capability, so we're happy to have been able to do that. But we are able, with the limited numbers of people, to have a few people here. So we do have Shamista with us, and she's going to do a solo. And helping her along, we have Patum over there on the guitar, and Sham's probably somewhere around. So we have the three of them. So we're going to hand over for you to really enjoy this solo by Shamista.
Check. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error binding, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angels' voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine. Oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is